Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So, today I'm going to discuss the what's next on Joseph Diaz Jr., the former 130-pound champion who just recently moved up to lightweight at 135 and scored maybe the biggest win of his career, defeating Javier Fortuna by a hard-fought decision to put himself, in the mix at 135 now. He stepped in for Ryan Garcia. I kind of wasn't sure how he was going to look, but he came in, took the fight serious, came in shape, and he got a hard-fought win against a good fighter in Fortuna, and now Diaz is throwing himself in the mix. I currently got him at number 6 at lightweight right now, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does next and going forward, because I think he's a very good fighter. I've always thought that, and I really want to see what he does at the at lightweight. There's been recent talks just the last few days about him and Ryan Garcia, because they're both Golden Boy guys, possibly locking it up by the end of the year. But let's run through the top 10 and see what's next for Joseph Diaz Jr. So first up, we'll start. Again, run through the top 10. Undisputed champion Teofimo Lopez. The Lopez is a top-ranked guy. Top rank's not going to work with Golden Boy. Plus, Lopez has the fight with Kambosos next, most likely. It looks like that fight's going to happen, and then he's looking at a Lomachenko rematch. So I don't think, because of the promotional issue and because there's just other better options for Lopez, I just don't see this in the cards. Number 2 is Vasily Lomachenko. I'd love to see this fight, but Lomachenko looks to be fighting Richard Comey in December, and Lopez is going to, and Diaz is probably going in another direction. Lomachenko's taking that fight as a prelude to a rematch with Teofimo Lopez. So we'll see what happens there, but that looks to be out of the cards as well. Number 3 is Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, that's the fight that, this is the fight that a lot of people want to see, but the PBC and Mayweather Promotions working with Golden Boy, I'm not seeing that at all, so I'm going to say no to this fight. Number 4 is the undefeated Ryan Garcia. And I think this is probably his most likely option. I think there's a very good chance that we see Garcia and Joseph Diaz fight each other. Diaz, said he'd fight at 130, but he also said he'd be into a fight with Ryan Garcia. It's an easily makeable fight right here, and I think it's something that Oscar should explore. Now, does he want to exploit, one or both of his fighters by fighting each other? That is a risk you got to take. If one guy gets his ass whipped, it's going to be, a while before he gets his feet wet again. And does Diaz want to fight a real lightweight, a big lightweight like Ryan Garcia, who's got power and everything? That's up to Diaz. But I don't think he's completely opposed to it, and I think it'd be a good fight. So we'll see. Number 5 is Devin Haney. I would not be surprised if Joseph Diaz said fuck it and went after the WBC title that Devin Haney owns. I think he'd be into the fight. I think he possibly would go after it. I think his confidence is high right now after beating Javier Fortuna. So I think he might say fuck it and go after it. And I would love to see that. That'd be a good challenge for Diaz right there. And I really think the fight could be possible. Now, Diaz is number 6. Number 7 is Jorge Linares, the former 3-division world champ. This is another fight I think is very possible. Linares works with the zone, and, it'd be a very makeable fight. Does Diaz want to, he's a former 3-division world champion, so I don't think Linares is going to tower over him and is that much bigger. They've both fought at the same weight classes now. Linares has been champion at 126, 130, and 135, and Diaz has fought at all 3 of those weight classes as well, so why not go for it? Excuse me. So I think the possibility of that fight is there. Now, number 8 is Richard Comey, the former IBF champion. I'm not seeing it because 2 reasons. Looks like Comey's in line to fight Vasily Lomachenko in December, and also Comey's a top-ranked guy. And Top Rank and Golden Boy, unless they have to, I don't think they're going to work together to make that fight. Number 9 would be a rematch with Javier Fortuna. Doesn't make sense for Diaz. He got the win. Nobody's clamoring for a rematch. It was a good fight, but it's a fight that he doesn't have to take. He has other options. I don't think he's going to go after this one. And then number 10 is the undefeated George Kambosos Jr. from Australia. Not seeing this one. What would be the point for Diaz fighting Kambosos? Well, Kambosos, the fight's not makeable anyways, because Kambosos is going after Teofimo Lopez for the undisputed title most likely next. So, you know, I mean, maybe after that, but would Kambosos want to follow up and win over Lopez by fighting a guy like Joseph Diaz? Maybe. But, I mean, I think just other bigger names would be possible. But at least for next, that's not going to happen. So, Joseph Diaz Jr., I think he needs to ride out this victory and go after another big fight next. I think he needs to try to land that. I think Ryan Garcia is very makeable. I think a showdown with Devin Haney would be good. And I think Jorge Linares, those would be 3 great options for him. You know, because he's riding high, his confidence is high, and he got a big win over a good opponent, and I think he needs to try to cash in on that. So that's it. That's the what's next for Joseph Diaz Jr., the former junior lightweight champion and now top lightweight contender. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.